In today's episode, I'm bringing you my top 10 summer copy fragrance recommendations from the Perfume Parlour. But Paul, I hear you say it's hardly even spring yet and it's still cold outside. And you would be right, but if you buy them now and just give them a little bit of time to macerate, you'll be all set and good to go just in time for your summer holidays. See, I'm always thinking. So to find out which 10 has definitely made it onto this list and the ones that I'll be rocking this summertime, stay tuned to Mag's Frags. Yes, hello again everybody, and thank you very much once again for tuning into this latest episode of Mag's Frags. I'm Paul and this is my top 10 list of summer inspired by fragrances from the Perfume Parlour. Yes, unfortunately it is that time of year when we have to put away our Black Phantoms, our Tuscan leathers and our tobacco ooze just for a few months and reach for something a little bit more fresh and light. So today I'm bringing you 10 suggestions for summer scents that hopefully aren't too predictable and boring. I could have easily created a list of the likes of Bleu de Chanel, Aventus and Dolce & Gabbana light blue copies, but today I thought I'd make it just a little bit more interesting and include some slightly less obvious ones. So whether you enjoy citrus aromatics, salty aquatics or barbershop fougères, hopefully there's one or two in here that you'll be excited to discover. But before I begin today's rundown, if you're interested in picking up any of these bottles that feature in today's video to try out for yourself, you can use my unique discount code to get yourself 10% off your first order, which I'll leave a direct link to down in the description. The link will direct you to a login page and you'll be asked to create a login name and a password. But once you've logged in and made your purchases and your selections, your discount will automatically be applied at the checkout. And as always guys, just a quick disclaimer, I don't work for the Perfume Parlour and this video is in no way sponsored by them in any way, so the opinions that you're about to hear today are my own opinions and I did buy all of these bottles with my own money. I do however receive like a small commission, as anybody would, just for recommending you to their site, so just by clicking on the link you'll save you 10% while supporting the channel and also helping me to bring you some more free content in the future. Okay, so first up we have a unique take on a summer fresh fragrance, and this one goes by the name of Coral Sky, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1601. This one is a copy of Orange Star No. 9 by Tower Perfumes. The top notes in this one are clementine and mandarin orange. The middle notes are lemongrass and orange blossom, and the base notes in this one are vanilla, tonka bean and ambergris. Yes, so there's no prizes for guessing what this one smells like in the opening, and sure enough you get a huge blast of sweet and juicy oranges, and the first impression I got from it was wow, this is the most refreshing orangey opening that I've ever smelled. But then there's these like conflicting notes in the base of sweet vanilla and there's tonka bean, and then there's also like a muskiness from the ambergris, and all I can say is that this is just weird. I personally think it's weird in a good way though, but there are gonna be plenty of people who don't really appreciate this one, and I can totally understand that too. This one, I would say, this one is a rarity in the fact that it's a niche summer scent that actually challenges your senses like so many cold weather niche fragrances do. It's a very unique and interesting take on the orange note, and it's not like Bvlgari Aqua Amara that goes all aquatic and salty. This is like one of those sweet flans with the mandarin oranges on the top, where you get the tartiness of the fruit, but you also get some sweetness from the base. I read a comment where someone describes this as like being like a thick orange puree, which I can definitely understand. And this one is one that I'd recommend you just get a sample of, because it's quite far away from your usual summer fragrances that are just so predictable with the bergamot opening and the standard woody dry down. The performance on this isn't the best, as is the case with like most fresh fragrances, but it's not terrible either. I just wish that the juicy orange in the opening would just stick around for just a little bit longer, because it's absolutely beautiful. But overall I really like it. It's a quirky take on a summer fragrance, and I will definitely be giving this plenty of wear over the next few months. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to talk about is called Revived for Men, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 2009. Yeah, this is a copy of Neo from Xerjoff, which is part of the Shooting Stars collection. The top notes in this are green notes, bergamot and neroli. In the mid we've got jasmine and pink pepper, we've got cardamom and nutmeg, and the base notes are amber, Virginia cedar, vetiver, guaiac wood and patchouli. Yeah, this is all about these citruses, and what you get from this one is a massive explosion of lemony freshness, some clean white soapy florals and a faint green herbal quality. The opening of this literally makes your nostrils tingle with how zesty the lemon is, and I'm in no doubt the most pessimistic of the fragrance community will be comparing this to like a lemon toilet cleaner. The lemony freshness stays all the way through the life of the scent, and there's a little bit of a green herbal accord in the background. This is an out-and-out summer freshie for when it's burning hot outside and you need a real massive hit of freshness. But if you already own Mancera's Lemon Line or Under the Lemon Trees by Maison Margiela, you won't have a real need for this one because it's very much like them, and it's not a scent profile that I'd pay niche prices for. But nevertheless, a lovely fresh summer scent with a sparkling, zesty scent profile. Okay, so the third one in this haul is called Verdant, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0533. Yeah, this one is a copy of Greenley from Parfums de Marly. The top notes in this are green apple, Calabrian bergamot and mandarin orange. In the mid we've got cashmeran, petitgrain, pomerose, cedar and violet, and the base notes in this one are oak moss, musk and amberwood. Yeah, this one is the most accurate copy on this list, and there is literally not a single difference between this one and the original, right from the initial spray right the way through into the far dry down. If you enjoy your fresh green fragrances, then this is the one. It opens with a tart green apple, a juicy mandarin and a zingy bergamot, and then instantly you can almost smell the summertime. It's fresh and invigorating, and it's one of them fragrances that can really lift your mood and just make you feel upbeat. The orange and the amberwood give it a subtle sweetness, the cedar adds some smooth woody masculinity, but it's a blend of all of the notes together that give this one a real green, breezy, outdoorsy feel, like walking through a pine forest on a sunny day. To me, this is a more modern green Irish tweed and has more of an interesting scent DNA. So if you're looking for an update from your creed that you've been wearing for the past few years, then this one could be your answer. If you like green smelling fragrances, then this one's definitely a winner, and one that I definitely would recommend that you try out for yourself. Okay, next up is one that was recommended to me by one of the subscribers to the channel a few weeks ago, and I've featured it in one of my haul videos. The original one though is now discontinued, and it's now extremely difficult to get hold of because it's been discontinued for quite a while now, and it goes for absolutely silly money on eBay. This Perfume Parlour copy is called EMPORER, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1635. This is a copy of Tsar from Van Cleef and Arpels, which was launched back in 1989. The top notes in this are cinnamon, rosemary, bergamot, neroli, green notes, lavender, coriander and artemisia. In the mid we've got pine tree, geranium, rose, lily of the valley, caraway, jasmine, orris root, tarragon, juniper berries and carnation. And in the base there's vetiver, cedar, oak moss, coconut, musk, patchouli, amber, tonka bean, sandalwood and leather. Almost every single note that you can possibly think of crammed into one fragrance, and such a mouthful. Yeah, this one opens up very clean, fresh and bright, and I can instantly pick up on the green, earthy notes straight away, and there's also like a minty freshness to it. There's also a nice dose of spiciness and a touch of clean soapiness from the neroli, and all of this together makes for a very uplifting and interesting first impression. It instantly smells like a classic masculine men's cologne with a mature elegance, similar to something like a Chanel Platinum, but it's layered with like Creed's Green Irish Tweed. It's basically a green barbershop fougere with a shaving gel type aroma. There's a large dose of oak moss in the base, and I also get a touch of leather, but it stays very clean and soapy all the way through. And if you just want to smell like you've just stepped out of the bathroom after a long manscaping session, then this is the one to go for. This is a very classy, masculine gentleman scent that's versatile, and you could pretty much wear this one all year round. Okay, this next one is a fairly obvious choice and a very popular fragrance at the Perfume Parlour. But this one is called Immortal For Men. The Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1871. Yeah, you probably know what this one is. This one is a copy of Elysium by Roja Dove. The top notes in this are grapefruit, lime, lavender, thyme, artemisia, musk, lemon and bergamot. In the mid we've got jasmine de grasse, lily of the valley, apple, blackcurrant and rose de mai. And the base notes in this one are vetiver, galbanum, cypriol oil, cedarwood, pink pepper, juniper berry, benzoin, leather, vanilla, labdanum, ambergris and musk. Yep, another massive mouthful of notes in this one. Yeah, the original Elysium is a very likeable and mass-appealing fresh fragrance that smells more like a good quality designer blue fragrance rather than being a niche scent. It has a fresh citrusy opening with the grapefruit, the lime and the bergamot really sparkling, and it tingles inside your nostrils, and sometimes the initial blast of this one makes me sneeze. It's so zesty and effervescent, and the opening 10 minutes of the scent is very dynamic. But as it dries down, you do get a tiny hint of a green pine or a cypress tree accord, and maybe some wild fruits in there, but it does remain bright, clean, fresh and uplifting. It is going to draw comparisons to the likes of Bleu de Chanel and Creed Aventus, although to my nose it's more towards the Bleu de Chanel side. However, it does have its own identity, but it's nothing groundbreaking, and for £225 for a bottle of the original, I'd say it's way overpriced for what it is, and I would never probably recommend the original at that price. The Perfume Parlour copy, however, though, at £14 for a 30ml bottle or £22 for the 30ml extract spray is a different story. And I'd say it's a no-brainer blind buy because it's a perfect copy and at less than 10 times the price. This is a very uncomplicated, casual fragrance for the summer months, which is super fresh and clean. The performance on the original and on this copy is not absolutely mind-blowing, and after 3 or 4 hours it's pretty much gone. But with that said, it's definitely still worth picking up and trying out for yourself. Okay, so we're over halfway now in this list, and this next one is about as fresh and mass appealing as you're ever going to get. However, this 3-note simple fragrance will set you back over 300 quid for the original bottle. This one is called Panthera, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1611. This one is a copy of Tygar by the House of Bvlgari, which is a citrus aromatic fragrance with a sparkling and zesty grapefruit opening, followed by a woody dry down. There's also ambroxan in this one, so you get a little bit of an aquatic salty vibe too. It's super fresh and clean, and it's got a bit of a resemblance to the likes of Issey Miyake Parfums, but I'd say this one smells a touch more modern and mass appealing than the Issey Miyake. The secret to this fragrance, though, is not actually the smell, which is fairly linear, by the way. It's actually the way that it just cuts through the air and it fills a room with a scent trail that just lasts for hours. It's a mass appealing compliment beast, and because it sits on a base of ambroxan, some people may think that it's stopped projecting when they're wearing it, because you can go a little bit nose blind to it. But let me tell you, even this copy is extremely potent, and out of all the Perfume Parlour fragrances that I own, especially the fresh ones, this is the one that gets noticed the most. I can understand why people wouldn't want to pay £300 for the original, because there's nothing in here with a complete wow factor. But it's when you go out and everyone's just commenting on it that you realise that you're wearing something a little bit special. And for the £14 that I paid for this 30ml bottle size, it's an absolute no-brainer for the summertime. It's fresh, juicy and delicious, and smelling it right now just makes me excited for the summertime, and I can't wait to break this one out again. This is actually my third bottle of this stuff, and I absolutely love the simplicity of it, so definitely one to check out for yourself. Okay, so the next one in today's summer episode, this one goes by the name of Charmer, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1143. This is a clone of Sedley by Parfums de Marly, which I think is one of the most mass appealing designer type fragrances in the Parfums de Marly lineup. It's a fresh, bright and uplifting scent that's perfect for the daytime or to wear as like an office scent. You've got citruses up top, which are nicely blended and not too piercing. In the mid there's clean florals including lavender, geranium and rosemary, and in the base we've got some ambroxan, cedar, patchouli, sandalwood and vetiver amongst the standout notes. This one is a simple but pleasant smelling blue fragrance with that clean shower gel type vibe. There's nothing complex or challenging in this, and even though it's a blue fragrance, it does manage to smell more mature and more expensive than your usual high street blue designer fragrances. It does smell really nice, but I'm not sure that I'd be rushing out to pay around £200 a bottle for the original. This Perfume Parlour version is pretty much identical to the original version, and once again it comes in a bottle for £9 for a 30ml standard spray and £17 for this long-lasting extract spray. Okay, so this next one goes by the name of French Flowers for Men, and the Perfume Parlour code on this is 0581. This one is a copy of Fleur de Mal by Jean-Paul Gaultier, which is now discontinued and virtually impossible to get hold of an original bottle unless you're willing to pay upwards of like £185 on eBay for the from the one or two people that are selling the used bottles of it. The top notes in this are petitgrain and orange blossom. In the mid we've got neroli and lavender, and the base notes in this one are chamomile and basil. Yes, I'll start by saying don't expect anything remotely like Le Mal or any other Le Mal flankers with this one. It opens up with a massive explosion of petitgrain and orange blossom, and it comes off smelling extremely green, like you've got a handful of crushed leaves. It also has a slight herbal quality too if you smell it up close, but in the air you get more of the orange blossom notes, and if you don't know how like the orange blossom smells, don't think it's going to smell like oranges, because it doesn't. It's a really divisive note, and to some people it comes off smelling extremely soapy and clean, and to others it comes off smelling a little bit animalic and a bit funky, with even some picking up on like a urine aroma. But I'm glad to report and to say that I only get the very clean soapy accord in this one, and as it dries down it does transform into more of a white floral dominant fragrance that may be a little bit challenging for some guys if you're into more of your masculine scents. The chamomile in the base blends with the lavender and the neroli to produce a powdery soapiness, which reminds me of kind of like fresh bed linen after it's been dried outdoors during the springtime. The performance is decent on this one, but it's not mind-blowing, especially when you've been used to wearing fragrances in the winter where you've been wearing like 14-hour winter bangers. So maybe I'll break this one out a little bit more closer to summertime and just see how it performs then. This would make a lovely office fragrance though, and it does have that lovely fresh out of the shower crisp and fresh feel about it. So again, definitely one to try out, especially now that it's really difficult to get hold of the original. Okay, so the second to last one on this list is called a Water Spirit 2, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0008. This one is a copy of Acqua di Gio Ascenza, and the top notes in this one are bergamot, grapefruit and cologne. In the mid we've got jasmine, basil and pepper, and the base notes are patchouli, clary sage, vetiver, ambergris and musk. Yeah, the opening in this one is a very bright and citrusy blast of grapefruit and bergamot, and this is accompanied by a salty marine vibe that's provided by the cologne, which is like a synthetic aroma chemical that produces a watery and metallic accord. For the first few minutes it's fairly loud and it's very similar to the original Pour Homme version. But when it dries down it develops a more rounded and greener scent character that I feel is a touch more mature and grown up. There's also some herbal notes and spices in there, but it's the vetiver, the clary sage and ambergris in the base that gives this one a more earthy scent profile, and in my personal opinion it's a more interesting and a better take on the original, even though it does smell quite similar. It's extremely versatile and you could wear it all year round, and it's a gentleman's classic with a clean and crisp scent profile. Essenza is ridiculously difficult to find nowadays, and if you do manage to find it, if you find someone like on eBay selling it, it'll set you back a pretty penny. This Perfume Parlour version is very accurate to the original, and it has beast mode performance considering it's a fresh scent and it stays on skin for a good 8 to 10 hours. Okay, so last up today is one that I've spoken about a few times now because I really enjoy it, and it's a different and unique take on a summer fragrance. This one is called Flamed, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0731. This is a copy of Fan Your Flames by Nishane, which contains a prominent note of coconut, and it's supported by a boozy rum note and a sweet tobacco. This is not a tropical fruity coconut though, it's more like what you get in a glass of Malibu, with more of a dry coconut with a rich liquor background. This is a very unique take on the note, and you don't get that suntan lotion vibe that you can often get with some coconut based scents. This is blended to perfection with just the right amount of sweetness, and as it kind of dries down you get some smokiness that comes through, and it just smells really sophisticated and expensive. This might not be for everybody though, especially if you're not a fan of the coconut note, but I think it's amazing and one you should definitely try because it's so unique and interesting. I would also like to give an honourable mention to this one because I very nearly included it in today's list, but I did take it out at the last minute. This is Xerjoff, and the code on this one is 1016. This one's a copy of Achivat, also by Nishane, and it's an extremely fruity scent, which with like pineapple and blackcurrant up top with a woody dry down. It does have a little nod to the likes of Creed Aventis and Cedrat Boisé from Mancera, but it retains more of the fruitiness and has a touch of musk also in the base, and it's absolutely lovely. I wasn't that keen on this one when I first bought it, but now it's had time to macerate for a few months. That pineapple note when you spray it now is just super juicy and sweet, and one that I can't wait to wear again in the summertime. So yeah, these two absolute beauties from Nishane. Yeah, so in summary, all the fragrances that featured in today's episode are absolute bangers in their own right, and I would highly recommend all of them. I could have produced a top 50 list and still I'd have had to leave some beauties out. And obviously there's the more common ones that I also reach for, like the Navy Intense or Cyber, which are copies of the brand that can't be named, and also the likes of Herb Garden, which is a copy of Leighton. But ones like that just get talked about all the time, and I wanted to compile a list of ones that are slightly less talked about. I will include a lot more fresh summer scents in my next few weekly haul videos, so don't despair if there's none in today's list that doesn't get you too excited. If I had to pick a personal top 3 from today's list, I'd go for the Greenley copy, the Tygar copy and the Fan Your Flames copy. But like I say, all of them are absolute beauties. A couple of my all-time favourites in there, from like in their original form, that I don't think the Perfume Parlour quite get to in terms of scent quality, are Bvlgari Aqua Pour Homme and also Dior Homme Sport, which I absolutely love, and I'd happily recommend these two to anyone as a blind buy for the summertime. Yeah, so once again, that's about it for this episode. But I have already ordered my next haul to talk about in my next video. So if you want to be notified when I upload it, don't forget to hit that bell icon and to subscribe to the channel. I've also just received another 5-bottle haul from KDJ Inspired, which I'm currently testing, and so far I'm well impressed with them. So don't forget to look out for those over the next coming days. So as always, guys and girls, thank you very much once again for tuning in. Stay safe, keep smelling fresh, and I'll see you very soon for another Perfume Parlour rundown. Bye bye for now.